In September 2008, ASFNAG began work on the second of two 6.6-kilometer-long shafts under the Pfänder mountain massif. The tunnel boring machine in use here advances around 20 meters every day. In total, nearly 790,000 cubic meters of material is being excavated. It's transported to the outside of the tunnel on a conveyor belt. This is enough to fill over 90,000 truckloads. For the entire 12-month tunneling period, one truck is loaded at the site every 3 minutes. That's 250 times a day. Truck operations are banned during night hours. The material taken from the tunnel is used to fill in set-aside gravel pits in Germany. Gravel pit operators are required to restore the terrain to its original level. The locations of the fill-in sites are not far from the construction site, so minimizing transport distances. Before the excavated material can be shipped, it's checked for its suitability as fill material. There's constant sampling at the transfer location, along with checks for legal compliance. Waste exports are controlled by European legislation. Each individual load of waste requires verification. These verifications are submitted to the responsible authorities in both the exporting and importing countries. The waste exporter must give 3 days advance notice of each individual load and, at the actual shipment time, must notify the exact volume of waste being transported. It's a demanding process. Within 3 days of receipt, the importer sends the authorities a confirmation that the amount of waste has been received. And within the next days, a notification of the recovery or disposal of the waste must be sent. Until now, all of these notifications were done by fax. This essential information, who transports what, how much, when, and where to, is then recorded by the authorities in a database for control and documentation purposes. Dealing with the export of the excavation material from the second Pfänder tunnel requires 90,000 notifications to each of the 3 consignees: Export Authority, Import Authority, and the exporter-importer. This adds up to about 750 faxes per day. It was soon obvious that this enormous pile of documents would overwhelm all of the parties involved. What's more, the traditional method was neither economically nor administratively appropriate. An efficient solution could only be achieved by managing the process electronically. Working together with the AEV company, a new procedure was developed. This takes care of the logistics for all of the loads. The system builds on the electronic data management used by the Austrian ministry responsible for agriculture, forestry and environment, known as the Ministry for Life. It handles the required electronic notifications. Legal and construction management requirements are also taken into account. It's conditional on all parties registering in the master database at the Life Ministry to permit clear authentication of each individual role: exporter, importer, carrier and authority.
With
the traditional procedure, up to 900 faxes would have to be sent to our authority every day. With this electronic procedure, this is not necessary. The official in charge can access this electronic data management system via the internet and can fetch and check the relevant data there, and thus monitor the shipments at random. This significantly facilitates the work of the authority and it cuts the red tape. We can only recommend this method. Each transport is automatically notified 4 days in advance. Every day, about 300 notifications are registered electronically, each of them documenting the expected shipment volume. On shipment day, the relevant truck is loaded and driven over the weighbridge. Equipped with a transponder card, each truck is clearly identified at the weighbridge terminal: carrier, license plate number, and empty weight. The driver selects his unloading destination and so determines which authorization the current transport is to be assigned to. The laden weight is determined. As soon as the driver confirms this, a transport document is printed. The electronic system assigns the corresponding advance notice to this transport and adopts the actual transport volume. The final transport notification is now stored electronically and is simultaneously visible to all the involved parties. Using this time and cost-efficient system, a truck departs the construction site every 2 to 3 minutes, heading for its unloading destination in Germany. When the truck is unloaded, the importer confirms receipt of the shipment by signing the accompanying transport document. On its return to the construction site, the unladen weight of the truck is recorded for the next shipment. The driver hands the countersigned transport paper to the importer's representative, who, in turn, confirms the recovery of the shipped material and retains the original copy of the transport note. At the same time, the electronic system at the construction site registers the volume shipped as recovered. At the end of each day, at the mere touch of a button, the importer sends the electronically gathered receipt and recovery notifications to the electronic register at the Life Ministry. This way, all of the necessary notifications for the competent authorities in Vienna and Augsburg are updated on a daily basis. They're visible and available for analysis. To us, the economic benefits of electronic data transmission are evident. In particular, the system produces benefits in the field of administration. The administrative burden can be considerably reduced, which will allow savings of several €100,000. This joint pilot project is an excellent example to show that cost-effective processing is feasible not only for the economy, but also for the two administrative authorities concerned. The entire shipping process is mapped online. The parties involved are therefore offered optimum support. Transparency is ensured, which allows checking compliance with the condition that the entire process was handled according to the legal provisions. The opportunities which EDM, the electronic data management, offers in the future will also be motivating and will convince the parties involved that similar notifying obligations should be handled in this manner, to allow less burdensome organization for the economy, but also for the administrative sector. Conclusion. Applying the Ministry of Life's electronic data management to the recording and clear authentication of persons and locations, and putting it to work on the full electronic exchange of data with authorities, has major advantages for the economy and the administration. The Pfändertunnel project is a success story, an example of simplified administration and improved transparency in the cross-border movement of waste, reducing the administrative burden on enterprises and authorities at all levels and supporting the high level of environmental protection in Austria. These are the most important objectives of electronic data management. In this project, their implementation has been nothing less than impressive.